Well, good evening. Normally I do these in the morning, but due to my schedule and being in court and just busy, that's a buzzword around this time of year. It seems like we're always busy, no matter the time of year. But specifically in the month of December, you ask people, "How are you doing?" And they say, "Well, I'm just busy, busy, busy shopping, busy putting up decorations, busy maybe making plans." And it just it got it was one of those days where I just got caught up in doing a lot of busy work, but I did not want to neglect this Monday message for you. So it may be late, but hopefully it's timely. So in Luke chapter 2, which is the Christmas story, there's this one little part that we sometimes overlook as we read the story of the birth of Christ, where it says, "And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governing Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city." Now this fits in our Christmas story and the narrative of Joseph and Mary traveling from where they lived in Nazareth down to Bethlehem, because Joseph was of the lineage of King David, and he went back to where his ancestors were from to be registered. The census was ordered by the government, and don't miss this, that oftentimes that even a government that is not godly can be used and is used for God's providential will. But the decree by the government caused Joseph and Mary to make that long journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem, house of bread, Beth, house, Lehem, bread, the city of David, Bethlehem, the house of bread, where the bread of life was born, and that fulfilled the prophecy that this Messiah would be born in Bethlehem. But again, this is the part that we sometimes overlook. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. They were busy back then, 2,000 years ago, traveling from where they resided then to where their ancestors were from. The streets were crowded. There was a lot of traffic. People were probably irritated because they just don't like leaving their comforts of their home. They don't like registering. They know the purpose of the registration is not numbers, but taxation. They knew it then and we know it now. But so the stress of that journey, the stress of going back, and everybody's going, the streets are crowded, and everybody is distracted. And that's how we are in this 12th month of the year 2020. We're distracted, we're busy, and we've got a lot going on. But if we're not careful, we'll do the same thing that most of the people in Bethlehem that we read about did. Most of the people in Bethlehem were not aware that the Messiah was born that day. Most of the people in Bethlehem were worried about getting registered, worrying about finding a place to stay, worrying about getting from point A to point B, worrying about keeping a schedule, worrying about all the things that needed to be done, the bills that needed to be paid, the phone calls, or maybe not phone calls, but the people they needed to contact, and all the stuff that they had to do, that they missed out on the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords being born in the little town of Bethlehem. Their village, right there, the King is born, and most of them missed it. And if we're not careful, we'll miss it. We'll get so caught up and so distracted and so busy that we'll really forget what this is all about. A celebration of the birth that changed the world. A celebration of the birth that made salvation possible. The celebration of hope entering into the hopeless world. The light entering into the darkness. It's all about that. So stay faithful and stay focused. God bless you.